Good evening. Welcome to our Democratic Congressional Candidates Forum. In order to promote more public interest and participation in elections, this event is being sponsored by the Bloomsburg University Democrats and the Columbia County Democratic Committee. I am Vince DiMalfi, the chairman of the Democratic Committee. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We in Columbia County were in the 11th Congressional District for over 50 years. And we are now part of the new 9th Congressional District. I'm sure you've heard all of that. 9th District is composed of all or parts of 8 counties. It includes all of Columbia County, all of Montour County, all of Carbon, Schuylkill, and Lebanon counties, and parts of Luzerne, Northumberland, and Berks counties. We have three Democratic candidates running this year, and I want to thank them all for attending tonight. They've been busy. Last night they were in Berks County doing the same kind of event. They've been in Schuylkill County, all throughout the district, and they have another one, I think, on Monday in Lebanon County. So they're busy. And we're sure that when one of them is elected, we're going to see them again for events like this, yes, as opposed to what's happened over the last 8 years. Now, we've had a lot of questions come in from all of you, which is great, but we will not be able to get to all of them, I'm sure. So we'll do the best we can here. But immediately after this event, we'll have a reception at Democratic headquarters, which is just 7 doors down the street. And then you'll have a chance there to meet the candidates and maybe ask them individually if your question doesn't get answered. Okay. We'd like to, we'll start with an opening statement from the 3 candidates. And you have 3 minutes to answer your question. Belinda here is our timekeeper, and she'll let you know when you have 1 minute, 30 seconds, or when it's time to stop. Belinda gets very angry if you go beyond your time, so don't go beyond. So we will start alphabetically with Quick from Lebanon County. You can stand or use the microphone.
I'm good. Can everybody hear me? Yes? All right. We're going to try from here. Save some time. Yes, my name is Laura Quick. I thank Vince. I thank the Columbia County Dems and all the people coming out tonight. This is great. This stuff kind of energizes me, so this is great to see. I'm from Lebanon County. I was born and raised there. After I graduated in 1984 from Palmyra High School, I went on to Indiana University of Pennsylvania, which is in the western part of the state. My sophomore year, I studied abroad in England, where I studied at Roxton College and Oxford University. Went on to graduate in 1988. I finished my studies with an internship down in Washington, D.C. with the United States Information Agency. After I stayed in Washington, D.C. and worked with Youth for Understanding International Exchange. It's an international exchange for high school students. And that bit me, that's a bug that bit me, and I really wanted to spend some time abroad, and I fell in love and followed my heart over to France, where I lived for 3 years, where I taught English. We came back here to the States, and I got my certification to teach French here in the States. When I was in 1999, I became pregnant with my son, and I was not in a permanent teaching position. So when I tried to come back into teaching, they wanted to have me do substitute teaching first. But I had complications with my pregnancy, and everything worked out fine. No worries. He's a 19-year-old strapping young man right now. But that woke me up because I had been very healthy up until that point. And so I knew we needed to have health care. So I went into UPS, and I was a supervisor for 4 years, and then I became a package car driver for the last 14 years. The political bug bit me. Well, I've always been interested in public policy and in politics, but it really bit me in 2014. When I moved back down to Lebanon County from having lived in Dauphin County for many years, there was nobody running against the congressional Charlie Dent at that time. No one running against the state senator, no one running against the state house person. And that incensed me. So I decided that as a woman, we always want to fill the gap. And I wanted to fill that gap, and that brought me to eventually getting trained with Emerge PA, which is a premier emerge a premier candidate program for Democratic women. I joined state committee, Democratic Pennsylvania State Committee, and I also did political organizing for the Teamsters because I am a Teamster, and that's been my journey, and it's been a great ride. I was organizing for the past 2 years up in the 15th, but I was very happy to find out my new people here tonight. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura. Gary Wegman will be second. Gary's from Berks County.
Can you hear me? Bonsoir, Columbia County Democrats. Welcome to our May Day celebration, and solidarity needs to be our cry again. Look what has happened to our nation. Remember, we allowed this to happen in 2016, and we cannot let it happen again. Where are the 18 to 30-year-olds in this room? If they're not here, this is evidence to show us that there's more that we need to be doing. Build a wall? Really? Land of the free, religious freedom, freedom for speech, but don't send us your Muslims, or you're tired, or you're hungry, or you're downtrodden. You know the ones that are fleeing from the Cheney-Bush war that said mission accomplished, but they forgot to get bin Laden, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, the dictators, or were they coming from the war on drugs? Didn't Colin Powell warn us that if you break it, you own it? Well, let's have a conversation about what's broken in this nation and why. My name is Dr. Gary Wegman, and I run Pagoda Hill Vineyards in Berks County as a fifth-generation farmer with my wife and 3 children and several employees. I have relatives in the dairy and poultry industry, and our ag industries are suffering. We need to be looking at ag markets in Southeast Asia and Africa, traditionally French colonies that still have profound French influence. France is our ally. No, bromance, yeah, okay. Well, I believe it's about time we leveraged our relationships and explored new markets for our American ag commodities. We should be processing cheese and yogurt and diversifying our fluid milk portfolio in the 9th District. This is an effort I will lead upon my election as your representative. I am the only medical professional running from this district. As a general dentist for 35 years, I understand why our healthcare system is not being fixed, and it's the same reason why it's broken to begin with. The special interests, for-profit medical insurance industry has us by the tail. Well, guess what, Mr. Highmark? Time's up. Yes, healthcare is too expensive because there's no way to control prices for medications and healthcare premiums. All the incentives for our current system lead to higher costs. Bully for the insurance industry, but don't go for that treatment or you'll have to pay $5,000 first. This is why the ACA has continued to fail us, because it left the insurance industry intact, and they are making record profits year after year. We need to elect someone who knows how to fix this. There are billions of dollars being wasted on non-health related services, taking money out of our healthcare premiums every year. Imagine our world with these monies available for infrastructure projects, read jobs, okay? Or public education, more jobs. I ask that you consider Gary Wegman when you go to the polls. Did you give me the flag?
Stop the whistle.
I mean, I didn't see stop. Was it 30 seconds or stop?
I gave you that already. You're rejecting it.
One sentence. We need we. I didn't want to blow that whistle. We're all out of here.
Our third candidate is Denny Wolf from Columbia County.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Denny Wolf, and my wife Josie and I have a dairy farm at Millville. We have 100 registered Holsteins. We also operated Pencold Dairies for around 30 years, where we sold jug milk in returnable glass bottles, and especially the chocolate milk was a favorite for many in the area here around Columbia County and surrounding counties. I was also had the privilege of serving as Ed Rendell Secretary of Agriculture starting in 2003. It was a privilege for me to serve on a cabinet with another Secretary Wolf. His name was Tom Wolf. Katie McGinty was their Secretary of DEP. We had a great cabinet and a good relationship, and those people remain my friends to this day. I was also appointed by the Clinton administration in 1999 to serve on the World Trade Organization Agriculture Advisory Committee, and I was reappointed by the Bush administration 4 years later. So I served actually a total of about 10 years on that committee. Great experience in learning how international trade works and understanding how trade issues really are evaluated and determined. Tariff barriers, non-tariff barriers, subsidies by agriculture that are trade distorting that aren't acceptable, sanitary, phytosanitary trade barriers. It was quite a journey during that 8 years learning how trade works and what the WTO's responsibility is and how it affects agriculture. I'm running for Congress because I don't see many people in Congress that have lived the same kind of life I have, the same kind of life my neighbors have, the same kind of life my friends have. If I'm fortunate enough to get elected and go to serve Congress, serve the 9th Congressional District in Congress, I am going to be down there to solve problems, not create problems. If you're looking for a candidate that's going to draw a line in the sand and throw hand grenades to the other side, you don't want to vote for me, because that's not my opinion of solving problems. My opinion about solving problems is extending your hand and saying, we've got some major issues in front of us, we need to get to work and solve the problems. There's a lot of problems to work on, everything from affordable care to the opioid epidemic, but my main focus would be jobs and wages. I think that touches the lives of so many families here in the 9th Congressional District, and that's the focus of where I would start my agenda in trying to represent this district. It's great to be here this evening and look forward to your questions. Thank you.
Now we're going to move to the questions.